Welcome back to the Daily Amaze channel, where we bring you the most incredible stories from around the world. We're dedicated to sharing the stories that will leave you amazed. Today, we have an incredible lineup of the 15 most surprising last meal requests on death row. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be amazed. Before we start, please take a moment to like and subscribe to support our channel. Here we go! Let's begin our countdown. Number 15. Odell Barnes Jr. Odell Barnes Jr. was executed in Texas in 2000 for the murder of a woman. Barnes Jr. requested a last meal of justice, equality, and world peace, stating that he was going to meet his maker and wanted to make his peace. Number 14. Teresa Lewis. Teresa Lewis was put to death in Virginia in 2010 for her involvement in a plot to murder her husband and stepson. As her last meal, Lewis requested 2 fried chicken breasts, sweet peas with butter, a Dr. Pepper, and a slice of German chocolate cake. Number 13. Alan Lee Davis. One of the most striking requests was made by Alan Lee Davis, who was executed in Florida in 1999 for the brutal murder of a pregnant woman and her 2 young daughters. For his last meal, Davis requested a lavish spread, which included lobster tail, fried potatoes, a half pound of fried shrimp, 6 ounces of fried clams, half a loaf of garlic bread, and 32 ounces of A&W root beer. His extravagant final meal drew a lot of attention and remains one of the most memorable last meal requests in history. Number 12. Angel Nieves Diaz. In 2006, Angel Nieves Diaz was executed in Florida after being found guilty of murdering a strip club manager. Diaz's last meal request was for hot chocolate and Cuban toast. Unfortunately, his execution was poorly executed, and it took 34 minutes for the lethal injection to take effect, leading to a nationwide debate on the use of lethal injection for execution. Number 11. Thomas J. Grasso. Thomas J. Grasso was sentenced to death and executed in Oklahoma in 1995 for the murder of 2 elderly women. Prior to his execution, Grasso requested a unique and elaborate last meal that included 2 dozen steamed mussels and clams, a double cheeseburger from Burger King, half a dozen barbecued spare ribs, 2 strawberry milkshakes, pumpkin pie with whipped cream and diced strawberries, and a 16-ounce can of SpaghettiOs with meatballs. Number 10. Victor Feger. After being found guilty of murdering a doctor, Victor Feger was put to death in Iowa in 1963. However, Feger's last meal request has gained notoriety as he simply requested a single olive with its pit, which he wanted to use as a symbol of peace. Number 9. Peter J. Mineo. Peter J. Mineo was put to death in Texas in 1985 after being convicted of murdering 2 people. Prior to his execution, Mineo made a unique last meal request, which consisted of a single pitted olive, a piece of bread, and a glass of cold water, stating that he was on a hunger strike and did not want to participate in the customary ritual. Number 8. Steven Anderson. In 2002, Steven Anderson was put to death in California for the murder of Elizabeth Lyman, an 81-year-old widow. For his last meal, Anderson requested a pint of cottage cheese, a hominy corn mixture, 2 grilled cheese sandwiches, peach pie, chocolate chip ice cream, and radishes. Number 7. Robert Alton Harris. Robert Alton Harris, who murdered 2 teenagers, was executed in California in 1992. For his last meal, Harris requested a 21-piece bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken, 2 large Domino's pizzas, a bag of jelly beans, a 6-pack of Pepsi, and a pack of Camel cigarettes. Number 6. Lawrence Russell Brewer. Lawrence Russell Brewer was executed in Texas in 2011 for his role in the racially motivated murder of James Byrd Jr. Brewer requested 2 chicken fried steaks, a triple meat bacon cheeseburger, fried okra, a pound of barbecue, 3 fajitas, a meat lover's pizza, a pint of Bluebell ice cream, a slab of peanut butter fudge with crushed peanuts, and 3 root beers as his last meal. Brewer was convicted of a racially motivated murder and was executed via lethal injection. Here we come to our top 5 most, so stick around and discover more shocking last meal requests from death row. Number 5. Ronnie Lee Gardner. Ronnie Lee Gardner was put to death in Utah in 2010 after being found guilty of 2 murders, one of which was the fatal shooting of an attorney during an escape attempt. Prior to his execution, Gardner requested a final meal that included a steak, a lobster tail, apple pie, vanilla ice cream, and a 7-Up soda. Number 4. Ray Rector. In 1992, Ray Rector was executed in Arkansas for taking the lives of 2 people. Rector made a request for his last meal, which included steak, fried chicken, cherry Kool-Aid, and pecan pie. However, what made his last meal memorable was when he saved the pecan pie, telling the guards that he was saving it for later. This haunting act is a reminder of the impending execution that awaited him. Rector's story and the last meal request have become a topic of interest and discussion, shedding light on the controversial topic of capital punishment. Number 3. John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy, also known as the Killer Clown, was executed in Illinois in 1994 after being convicted of the brutal rape and murder of 33 young men and boys. For his final meal, Gacy requested fried chicken, french fries, strawberries, and a Diet Coke. Despite his gruesome crimes, Gacy's last meal remains a topic of interest and speculation among those fascinated by the minds of notorious killers. Number 2. Timothy McVeigh. In 2001, Timothy McVeigh was executed in Indiana for his role in the devastating Oklahoma City bombing that killed 168 people. As his last meal, McVeigh decided not to have a traditional feast, but rather requested 2 pints of mint chocolate chip ice cream. Some speculated that he chose this simple dessert to make a statement about the death penalty, while others saw it as a personal preference. Regardless, his final request remains a subject of curiosity and debate to this day. Number 1. Ted Bundy. The notorious serial killer Ted Bundy, who was executed in Florida in 1989 for the murders of multiple young women. Despite being offered a last meal, Bundy declined, but he did make a request for a cup of coffee, which was ultimately denied. Bundy's heinous crimes have gone down in history as some of the most shocking and brutal acts of violence in American history, and his story continues to be a subject of fascination for many to this day. Now that we've completed our countdown, the last meal requests of death row inmates have been a subject of fascination for many. While some choose to indulge in elaborate meals, others opted for simple and symbolic requests. It's interesting to note that some last meal requests have even sparked controversy and debate over the ethics of providing such requests to condemned prisoners. Nevertheless, these requests give us a glimpse into the minds and personalities of some of the most notorious criminals in history. What do you think of these last meal requests? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating videos.